I think I said in a lot of episodes, I like to talk about the struggles that we're going through because I want you to realize that even though our life on paper might look like it's perfect and beautiful, and how lucky are we that we get to travel all the time and, you know, we don't have any roots, it doesn't make it easy. You still have the same struggles. If you are struggling with something in your life and you don't resolve it, you don't heal it, you don't work through those issues, though, no matter what you do, if you quit your job, if you run away, those problems are still going to keep coming up. And so that's what we're working through right now. It doesn't matter what lifestyle we live, the things that we're self-conscious about, the things that beat us up, the things that I don't want to get into the details, but I put a lot of the things that I grew up with on James and vice versa. And until you start resolving those issues and working through those issues, and whether it's you go to therapy or whether it's you start journaling, you start looking at yourself and your life, the more aware you become, you start taking steps to make change every day. Hi friends, this is James and Kara, and we are Kerouacs Cruising.
We are taking you on a journey, traveling the country with our dogs and finding remote places where the dog
And us
can roam free and play while we discuss life's growths, beauty, and some struggles along the way.
We recommend pairing our episodes with our blog at kerouacscruising.com, where we organize accurate information in an easy-to-follow format, removing all of the conversational goodies.
The link for this episode's blog post is in the show notes.
We encourage you to join the conversation by commenting where you listen, engaging with us on Facebook or Instagram at Kerouacs Cruising, or email us at join@kerouacscruising.com.
In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. Sit back and enjoy the journey.
Good morning, friends.
Hi, everybody.
We are enjoying the sunset at camp. Some clouds creeped in on us, but it's still a pleasant moment, so we figured we would talk to you guys while we're sitting here doing it.
We are in Bullhead City, and things are getting kind of exciting for us.
Yeah.
We are getting ready to go on our big trip to head to the East Coast.
And by getting ready, like profusely dreaming about it. We're not physically doing anything to get ready for it yet. Well, I guess that's not true. You worked on the truck yesterday. That's a big deal.
We're getting our mentally ready.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at mapping it out exactly. I figured out how many miles it was, how much gas it was going to cost.
Yeah, I guess we've been working on the budget side of things.
And working on the truck, getting the truck ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we are down to probably
About
a month. We'll be leaving hopefully in about a month.
Yeah, it's still we're
DoorDashing still.
Yeah, we're DoorDashing. We finally had the settlement for the accident. We didn't settle, and I guess that's the way it works. Nobody's ever happy in a settlement. So we didn't get as much money as we were hoping, but plenty of money to get through the year and to invest in ourselves, invest in our future, and hopefully have a lot of fun on the road. You know, catch up, play catch up, get some things that we've realized that we need or want, upgrade our solar a little bit. Things like that. So we're very excited about that, very optimistic. Of course, our property's still, well, I guess it's temporarily off the market for the winter. Yeah.
We took it off the market, and we'll put it back on the market later on.
Yeah, in the spring.
Hopefully things happen in our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe electricity comes down the road, so we'll revisit.
Yeah, that's been being rumored for a while. There could be electricity just a lot away,
So we'll revisit that before we put it back on the market.
We've mentioned it in other episodes. We would keep the property if we don't need to sell it. I just don't like when we look at how we want to live our life, at least for the next few years, with our traveling and looping the country the way that we want to. I just don't see us having a lot of time to go to the property. So part of me wants to sell it just so that it's not a stress on our shoulders. We're not worrying about the house. Rodent infestations is something James really stresses out about, and it's because it's a real actual thing that can happen. He's got the house, you know, well
locked down at the moment,
but it's something we're always worrying about.
And we've already experienced it. Some people came to look at the property, you know, they have a key and whatever, and the back door that wasn't properly secured, and the wind took it.
Yeah.
You know, it was bad luck for us, but
people don't respect our things when they go and view it as much as we do. So that's
it was just a matter of double checking, and it's an easy mistake. They didn't make sure the deadbolt was the wind took the door, which
And
whatever.
We're very fortunate to have amazing neighbors who do keep an eye on things for us, but it's not their responsibility. So it's just something that weighs on our shoulders. So it would be nice to not have to worry about it. But I do think in 5 years or something, it may be something that we would start wanting to revisit again on a regular basis, you know, figuring out how to fit it into our routine of life. You know, I don't think we're going to travel forever. I don't think we're going to remain nomadic indefinitely. I think at some point we'll be on to the next thing. We just don't know what that next thing is right now. So I don't want to, you know, completely take that out of our life if we don't have to. But of course, it is what it is when it is.
That's it. It's kind of, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's about not stressing over it. And we'll check on it one more time before we leave. But then we'll be on the road.
Yeah, we're very excited. We've been kind of touching base with people, letting them know that, you know, we're definitely going to be coming. So that's been exciting to...
I can't wait to make videos more of just us talking and more videos of actually places that we're just figuring out. We're just getting there to explore. So it's exciting.
It's exciting.
The unknown is exciting.
Yeah, and it's funny because we're so easily slip into routine. Our life right now is pretty, you know, the only difference from a normal person's life is that we are doing it in a camper in the middle of the woods instead of our house in suburbia.
Pretty much we're working 5 days a week with 2 days off a week. I mean, that's what we're doing. But it's kind of aiming us to the right opportunity and the right space, and it's going to be able to make our transition heading east easier.
I'm excited for the challenge that the East Coast is going to bring. I mean, out west, there's just a shit ton of open land. It's so vast out here. It's so easy to get out of a major metropolis and find public land and find a place to camp and have our elbow room where we're not worried about the dogs and everybody can play and relax and feel safe and comfortable. When we get on the East Coast, I think it's going to be a lot more of us. Yeah, I think we're going to be staying at a lot more campgrounds, which I'm not opposed to. Campgrounds are nice; they're convenient.
The worst thing that's going to
travel, visiting people, you know, when you're seeing people, it's nice to have the convenience of a campground.
The worst thing that's going to happen is we probably will have to even do a bit of truck stops.
That will suck.
Just in between seeing people.
Hopefully
when we're
not.
only doing a one-night stand. It might just be easier to pull into a truck stop, and
we'll play it by ear as we
go.
go. There's hip
do
camps
that.
an option too. I mean, we had found hip camps in that area in the past. We never ended up staying at one. I think
when we get to New Hampshire,
it's going to be pretty nice. New England loosens
Maine,
up again.
There's I know plenty of places I can bring my camper.
I feel like the Southeast is pretty open. You know, more vast than once we get into Maryland and get around Philadelphia, all of that's going to be very congested. We, again, haven't really started looking into the route yet, but we're going to, I think, try to stay west of the 95. So those of you who are listening, if you know any places, I just think that, you know, with our experience of driving through places like Las Vegas, I just think driving through DC, driving through Philadelphia, driving through New York City, like that's just not even worth the stress. I think
we're going to park outside
the
city with the camper.
West of the 95.
We'll drive our truck to go visit even if
people.
it's 3 hours away.
Yeah.
Well, we would rather do that, and maybe we're spending the night somewhere and then going back to the camper the next day.
Yeah, I was going to say, when we go, I think when we visit most people in my world, we can stay over a night or two with the dogs even. You know, there might be some juggling of animals because Norman can be an asshole, but I think that, you know, we have a pretty amazing group of people that love us and they just want us to spend time with them. So that'll be fun and exciting. But yeah, it'll be interesting to start really looking in. There's plenty of national parks in that area. It's just whether or not there's going to be national forests or BLM land, you know, public land that you can camp for free.
National parks are great, right? But they're not free.
No, of course not.
But I get the senior pass.
We've been talking about that. We're so excited. James just turned 55 in November, and so he qualifies for senior discounts now, and so he can get that golden age pass. We're so excited.
So for the rest of my life, I can go to the national park and not have to pay.
I'm so excited. And
it's the same as what we pay now as a yearly pass.
Yeah, but you only pay it once.
But we only pay it once, so it's going to be, some of the best $80 I ever spent.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We're pretty amped up about that. That's silly, but it's true. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, we just been, I guess, getting through it all. Like we said, we've been working a lot, but this is actually, so last night it kind of started. So we took yesterday off from DoorDashing. James watched the playoff games. I worked on some podcast stuff. Oh no, that was Sunday you watched playoff games. So Monday you worked on the truck. So yep. you put in the steering stabilizer shock?
Steering stabilizer. They call it a damper. Some people call it a damper. And then I also did, which I bought these parts months ago, but I also did...
Yeah, we've just been carrying them around all over the country.
So I did the sway bar links, people call them, or stabilizer links, whatever you want to call them.
In the truck, yeah.
But we did the stabilizer. It actually made a difference going over the bumps. And the ones I pulled out were totally dead. No grease in them. So the truck was sounding clunky, and it still probably needs some other stuff, but we just keep working on the truck.
A little bit at a time.
A little bit at a time as we have. But these parts I've been lugging around because I didn't have a grease gun. And the stabilizer links, I got grease fittings and got heavy duty ones. Well, so without a grease gun, I couldn't install them because I had to grease them for sure. And so it was whatever. So Christmas, we went to Idaho where I have my grease gun. So I got my grease gun, and it's almost February, and I just did it. But it's done now, and that's it. Well, it was fairly, it's only 3 hours or whatever.
We've been busy. We've been kind of reflecting, and it's a blessing, but it's been a lot. We've had a lot of people come to Bullhead City to visit us. We've done several trips up the mountain to visit friends and family up closer to home. So we've just been really busy on top of every free moment that we have trying to DoorDash to earn
produce money.
And then from there also, maintaining the off-grid camp and maintaining the podcast, just we've been really busy. So it's when we look back on the month of January, I mean, I keep seeing all kinds of memes on social media or videos on social media about, it being the 47th month of January. And that really is how it feels. Like January's just been going on for forever. And I don't appreciate how fast time has been flying by. So I'm glad that things seem like they've slowed down for the month of January. I just how many people we are going to be so busy
up until friggin' October of this year.
Yeah.
We have a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
really great.
Unbelievable.
But meantime, we are gonna try to start really upgrading Kerouacs Cruising, just in the way of mostly back office stuff. I am not any kind of SEO expert or algorithm analyst, and I feel like we've been really suffering with that. So I just want to throw it out there. If you know anybody, please feel free to reach out to us.
We're going to interview people.
Yeah, we're starting to interview people. We want to move on to the next level. I think we're pretty good at creating content, but getting the content out to people who will enjoy it, I think, is our struggle. So we would really love if anybody knows anybody, send them our way. We'll interview them and, be very exciting to see if we can start monetizing this thing and start letting the podcast pay our bills, since half of our bills are the podcast. That would be nice. So that's very exciting. And then what else, baby? We're working on ourselves, working on each other. You brought it up earlier today that it's one of the things I think a lot of people don't realize, and I think a lot of people may have realized it during the pandemic, but I don't think we had that problem during the pandemic. But when you spend so much time with somebody that you didn't typically spend a lot of time with, you don't get a lot of breaks from that person. And I think when you're in a relationship with somebody, my theory is that when you're with somebody for a really long time, you start to see them as you see yourself, and you start to see your flaws, or you start to think of them the same way as you think of yourself, with that same inner critic voice. You think of the other person that way. James had said, you know, you spend so much time with somebody, you start looking for flaws in them instead of seeing all the good things.
It's just, and I probably overanalyze it, but I have been thinking about it a lot, and I have some pretty good examples. So me and Kara have been non-stop together, and some days we struggle, and then other days it's perfectly wonderful, and we live a wonderful life. We get up late, we meditate, we eat breakfast slow, and then we do have to work like some normal people because we do have bills that need to get paid. So we're out there doing those things, but it's like, okay, so we have a good bit of money for a long time and things are just going great, and then the crunch comes, and now I'm just going to give this example, and she'll be like, oh, whatever. So we're DoorDashing one morning, and she was craving, she kept talking about a croissant. So we have very little money, and she goes in and buys a croissant and a coffee, which is the Friday special at Starbucks at this Safeway that we sit in the parking lot and wait for DoorDash orders. And she's coming out with it, and I'm like, I can't believe she bought that. Jesus, whatever. But when I went in to use that same bathroom she went in to use, I bought $5 in lottery. And it's like, how can I get mad? She spent $6, but it's like them frustrations come out more when you're in lack than when you're not in lack. And I have to remind myself, because I'm like, why did I get mad? And then I'm like, because I'm an idiot. Them things really don't matter. I'm not mad about her buying the coffee and croissant. I'm mad because I don't have endless amount of money and we have to be on a budget. So, and then it's crazy. So that's just one part of it, and that's one example. So another example, that when you're with somebody all the time and things don't matter. So I drive the truck and she does the DoorDashing. She goes in, gets the orders from the restaurant. Well, sometimes I'm out in the truck and I'm like, what the goddamn is she fucking doing in there? And it's her fault the restaurant don't have the food ready. So it's like I get all amped up before she gets out, but it's totally irrelevant because it has absolutely nothing to do with her. And I just think and that's not even a lack of anything. That's just...
It is a lack.
That's just me in my own head.
Time is money in DoorDash.
Yeah,
so the longer we sit in a restaurant, the less time we have to get another order.
Because for me, it's like, time's money. What are you doing in there? And it's like, she has absolutely no...
control over
and
the
food.
And even trying to push the people. I mean, if you've ever worked in food service,
you're not pushing anybody. You're making them slower.
Yeah, if you start saying something, when people complain, the whole crew freaks out, and everybody starts getting anxious, and they actually slow down because now they
don't complain.
You drop the morale of the team.
When you're in restaurants, these kids are working
The worst
hard,
thing you can do is say something about it. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what happened. That things are slow for you right now. It's an inconvenience for you in your life at this moment, but you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. And when you say something and when you snap at people and you're an asshole, everybody's morale goes down, and what looks like it's bad right now is going to get even worse. They're more likely to make mistakes, because it's just like when you get yelled at. When you get yelled at in any part of your life, your fight or flight mode acts up, your nervous system starts freaking out, and you can't think straight, you can't see straight, you're just freaking out. And so there's nothing we can do. And
so we've
been working through a lot of that stuff. So long story short.
Yeah, so it's like, and then we get in these stupid fights, and I think about it, and it's like most of it's just so petty. Like, I have no reason to get mad at her because the orders took so long, but I'm in the truck thinking to myself, what on God's name is she fucking doing in there? Why isn't she out here with the order? It just doesn't matter. Yeah. And I have to remind myself that it doesn't matter, but we spend so much time together. I know in real life she wouldn't, or not in real life, but if she was in charge of controlling the food, it would have already been in the truck. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing, and it's the same thing as me buying lottery and her buying a coffee. If she obviously thought that we could afford to buy the coffee and croissant, just like I say, I can afford lottery. So it's just, you got to catch yourself in those things. And when you're with somebody a long time, it's so easy to start playing the blame game while you don't have nothing. And we have so much.
We do have so much. Exactly.
It's silly that we let petty things get in the way.
I think too that, like I said, you just start internalizing or projecting your own.
It almost is like the same thing I was saying when you were saying that.
Yeah, it's you start, I'm feeling, self-conscious about a particular issue, and so it gets pushed onto James, and I think that I think I said in a lot of episodes, I like to talk about the struggles that we're going through because, one, I want you to realize that even though our life on paper might look like it's perfect and beautiful, and how lucky are we that we get to travel all the time, and we don't have any roots or any reason, it doesn't make it easy. You still have the same struggles. If you are struggling with something in your life and you don't resolve it, you don't heal it, you don't work through those issues, though, no matter what you do, if you quit your job, if you run away, those problems are still going to keep coming up. And so that's what we're working through right now. It doesn't matter what lifestyle we live, the things that we're self-conscious about, the things that beat us up, the things that, I grew up with. I don't want to get into the details, but I put a lot of the things that I grew up with on James, and vice versa. And until you start resolving those issues and working through those issues, and whether it's you go to therapy or whether it's you start journaling, and we're doing most. You
just start the realization that it's there.
Start looking at your
through, even if you're reading books and you're having deeper thought in your own brain, not somebody else's brain.
You start looking at yourself and your life objectively with a lens of analyzing to gain awareness. And I think one of the biggest things is not to have judgment for yourself. Don't hate yourself. Just have love for yourself and work through it. If you don't like something about something that you're doing or the way that you behave, you become aware of it. And then the more aware you become, you start taking steps to make change every day. But yeah, so that's a lot of what we're working through right now. It's been a beautiful growth season, and I really appreciate, as hard as it is to be in the season of lack, where we haven't had the funds to be able to move and we wouldn't move right now. That's the thing, is we plan on being in Bullhead City in the winter or in this region. In the south, in the warmth. But we wouldn't be moving much anyways. I mean, we really want to go to Valley of Fire, so we probably would have gone and checked that out. There's some places that we would probably go visit in this region. Yeah,
because you have to pay if you're going to go there. The free spots this time of year are just taken up. So.
Yeah, but in all reality, we are doing exactly what we want to be doing right now. So, it's hard because we feel like we're captive, but we're really not. And the fact that we have this opportunity to really work through these things and not be distracted by moving and visiting with people, because when we're with people, of course, we're not working through these things. So that's, I guess, what I have to say on that. And I think the best thing one can do when you're going through these seasons is take the time to really process and think about it. And then always go back and have the conversation. I feel like there's an adage that's been said a million times: don't ever go to bed mad. And I think you need to. I think sometimes you need to step away from the situation and think about it objectively and get out of that activated mode where you're freaking out and you're anxious and you think the worst is going to happen, and take the time to really process it, take some time to yourself, and then come back and have a conversation about it. I just think sometimes when we're activated, we're only going to do more damage if we keep trying to talk about it because we feel like we have to resolve it. Nothing has to be resolved today. It can be done tomorrow with a fresh mind. And I think that that's really what has helped us through this particular season, and I'm really grateful for the pause, because it would be really easy to get distracted and not deal with what we had to deal with. So that's my story on that. And James's fire is going out, so I think we're gonna move over there. We're gonna go move over there. You stealing sticks, Norman?
You want another stick?
What are you
doing? I'm trying to make a fire.
Is that your stick? You stole that stick from your daddy?
Right.
It's too late to go for a walk. You crazy. You crazy, though. Nice fire, baby.
We got a fire.
So what else? Well, we just had that interview with Morgan Smith, and man, that's opened up a world for us. Changing our perspective a little bit on what options are out there for us as far as unwinding, I guess. And I say this as I have a margarita in hand and James has a Coors Light, but learning about kava has really, I think, changed potentially moving forward. Things that we are going to... Another stick. He's taking your fire poker stick.
So kava is, and I guess you got to watch his video.
Yes, absolutely.
Morgan's
yeah,
video.
I don't want to give away what he said, but we're seriously.
So we're gonna do a dry march.
Yeah.
And when we're traveling, we are gonna, instead of drinking or doing anything for socializing, we are gonna try kava for sleep because it's supposed to help with sleep. But also there's different formulas, and it also helps with social anxiety. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to be like a healthier alcohol, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I mean, he gives the stats in the episode. Again, I don't want to give that away because I think it was a great conversation. I really enjoyed talking to him, and I do hope we can connect with him in the future. But I think that I mean, it's a way less toxic way to unwind. And you know, I mean, I guess I don't know, I'm off and on with alcohol. You know, I can go a month or two without drinking any, and then I start drinking, and you know, then I want to drink every night, you know. And it's not that I drink to the like we used to. I think in our beginning episodes we talked about how much we used to drink. I mean,
you know, we used to drink in a sitting. I would drink, no lie, 10, 15 beers in one day.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even imagine doing that. But I still will drink 4 beers and 5 beers and feel really shitty the next day.
Yeah. I try not to drink. 2 is kind of my limit if I'm out socializing and kind of partying with people, you know. I'll drink 4, but I don't like the way I feel the next day. I feel very sluggish. I don't feel like my brain's firing on all cylinders. And I don't like that. I feel like in order to socialize, I need to have the drink. And so I'm hoping, what I'm hoping to get out of kava is a tool for when I've had an extra long day or an extra anxious day, but really a way to wean me fully, I guess, off of drinking alcohol. I really don't want to drink alcohol anymore.
That's what I foresee. Weaning off alcohol.
Yeah.
And we're going to try it when we do our dry month. And instead of socializing with alcohol, we'll try the kava. Mm-hmm. Kava, they say, has been, you know, going on for over 3,000 years. And it's like ancestral rituals. You know, people make deals drinking kava.
Yeah. Again, giving away the episode.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun to try out. We're hoping to get some here soon. And try it out. We'll let you guys know what we think. I just think, I don't know, if it's everything I feel like it is, it's just going to be something really great to have in your arsenal, or, you know, in your cabinet, you know, like just to have.
Just to make a tea once in a while.
Yeah, and so we'll keep you guys posted on that. I really actually am enjoying how this episode is kind of turned around. We're just having a conversation with these guys as if they're hanging out at the campfire with us. Mm-hmm.
We're going to answer for you, because then you answer the correct way. So kava, what else do we have going on? That's it. We're going to start drinking kava. We're going to do our dry march, and we are going to be heading to the East Coast.
That's not going to be just dry march, though. That's going to be a full-on detox diet. We're going to get back on track again.
She always calls our eating habits a diet, but I like to just call them that's the way we live life.
A diet is, I don't mean it diet as in I'm on a diet, I mean it is a diet of what you intake into your body. Like your diet is what you eat. That's how I mean it when I say our diet. We're going to go back to our normal diet. We're going to go back to the normal way that we eat.
One thing that's happened to us, and it's horrible, is we do DoorDash and we see and go to all the restaurants and smell all the food. So then it's easy. Well, we have a promotion to get this food. Yeah. Or DoorDash has given us a discount tonight because it's Monday. So it's whatever.
No, you're right.
So we've eaten more takeout food in the last 6 months than we've eaten in the last 5 years.
Yes, absolutely, that is true. I won't even try to talk that down. That feels very true.
So it's a little crazy when you think about it. Not that we spent any more or less money on food. It just we didn't buy food for the house or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And we did get it. It's crazy how cheap you can buy restaurant food.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention to their deals.
Well, and when you mix,
DoorDash.
it's one of the things we keep talking about with finances, you know, in as far as when we do things, how we do them. You know, sometimes you end up paying more money, but it's way more convenient, or it saves a whole lot of your time. And I feel like that's kind of the way food is right now. Is it's if you're trying to eat healthy, which we try, when we buy food at the grocery store, we try to buy that like all organic, grass fed. I mean, we try to eat the highest quality food that we can buy, and then when we go to a restaurant, of course, which in many cases is the lowest grade food you can find. It's way cheaper or similar in price to what it would cost for us to
produce a meal at home.
And you're saving all of that time and energy. And as I talked about at the beginning of this episode, we've been pretty busy lately. And so it has been a big cost saver on a lot of nights where I'm just like, we DoorDashed an extra 2 hours because we hadn't made our goal for the day yet. And I am just pooped. I'm seeing sideways. I've got a headache. The headlights, I get headaches or migraines from the oncoming traffic headlights or the street lights at night. It's like my eyes don't want to know how to acclimate to it. And so I'll just be done. I'm not cooking. And he's like, I've been driving all day. I don't want to cook. And so we're grabbing something on the way home. I
will tell you, right, so working DoorDash, and we work together, so it's easier than a person. When you're driving the streets, I've worked for UPS, I delivered, and I used to drive around a lot, but delivering food is actually tiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like real work.
Yeah, except you have to pay to use your own equipment for the job. It's a very poor paying when you consider that. But before we left Idaho, really probably since August. So from August to beginning of November, we were on like this, and primarily me, but James followed it most of the time. I was just on this crazy strict diet. I had found out I had a ton of food sensitivities that were giving me issues. I had candida, so I couldn't have any sugars or carbs at all. Plus I already avoid a lot of things like gluten and soy, even if they weren't issues for me. And I talked about it in an episode some time ago, but we were pretty much just eating leafy greens and meat for a while.
Yeah.
And I felt really great during that time. I felt like I had a lot of really great mental clarity. I had a lot of energy, or more energy. I don't think I ever had a lot of energy, but I had more energy. I just felt better. I guess I did have a couple of migraines when we were in Idaho. I was going to say I wasn't having any headaches, but I was. But I did overall feel better in my day-to-day life, and now that we've been eating more of the processed food, I can really feel the difference. I can really, yeah.
I really think that the processed food, I notice a difference through the whole process. The clarity, the digestive system, all of it. When I eat clean, my body feels clean. Yeah. You take a nice crap every day, and you just feel clean, and you never feel heavy or just bloated. Yeah. You just feel really just nice and light, I think. I definitely notice it. I went and watched football on Sunday, ate a bunch of food, and felt like crap. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even drink a lot. It was really It was a food issue. ate food that I usually don't eat, and just disrupts my
your gut microbiome. Yeah. Yep.
So it messes up.
No, so I'm excited for that, and that definitely the people that we're going to see on the first leg of our trip are pretty health conscious, so I don't think that's going to be hard at all. By April, I think that it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It's going to be hard.
But especially when I get to New Hampshire and stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard to eat clean.
And to not drink, I think. You're just going to...
Oh, yeah. Even around my brothers and sisters and friends, that probably will drink.
Yeah, I think that'll be... But we'll see. I mean, and I think life's all about balance. I think we were, again, super, super clean, and then we kind of been on a binge for the last few months, so it's like the pendulum shifts from one way or another, and it's all about balance.
We're a little out of balance right now. That's what the problem is.
It's really ultimately we got to find that middle ground.
The pendulum is leaning a little left. I don't know what direction it's leaning, but
I don't know.
It's not in tune.
It's not. It's out of balance. It's out of whack for sure.
But just knowing that gets you the ability to go back into being balanced.
Oh, it's only been 12 minutes.
Huh?
I thought it had been over 20 minutes already.
Oh. So, when you think about the balance of life, that's what when you're out of balance, you recognize it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And you can bring yourself back into that balance that made you feel the best.
Well, and I think that...
So that's I think is important.
I think for us, you talked about it a little bit at the beginning about how we take our really slow mornings. It's like a 2-hour routine to get ourselves ready for our day in the morning, and I really appreciate that we take that time for ourselves. And it includes meditation and mindfulness, and so I think that making ourselves have those moments makes it so that we don't it's harder to get distracted and forget about the things that you don't want to notice, like you're being out of balance and feeling yucky, and you just power through the day, right? You just drink more coffee, you just whatever you need to do to get through, and you're getting too stressed and too overwhelmed, and so you just drink more in the evening. I really feel like taking that time in the morning is really important to... Like, some days I just wake up and I'm in a piss poor mood. Like, I just don't want a life today. I just don't want to do things. And I have to push myself. And so I think taking that time to, be like, man, I'm just not in a good mood today. And it's okay. Like, it's all right to feel that way today. We're still going to do the things that we need to do. However, I'm going to recognize in myself that I'm not in a good mood today. And I'm going to be mindful to keep my mouth shut more often because he doesn't need my bad mood vomited all over him. But it's okay. Like, I don't have to force myself to change it. I don't have to pretend to be happy. I don't have to fake it. I just got to recognize that that's the way I'm feeling today. Are you trying to summon her over?
Yeah, she won't even come over.
No. That's funny. Bella.
You coming over here or what? You don't want to?
My pretty girl.
I don't know what you guys are doing, but you guys are talking to ghosts. And I don't really like it that much. You guys are looking weird over there in the fire. That's why I'm over there. Yeah, you okay?
You're cold. You're laying in the rocks all cold.
I figured you should come over and be on TV. Say hi. You don't want to say hi? I'll get Normie over here too,
All right. But I think, unless you got anything else, I mean, we've been kind of rambling.
Nope, life's been good.
Life's good. Life's good. Things are hard.
I'm excited to go to the East Coast. I can't wait to see my brothers and sister.
Your niece.
So, my niece, just a lot
nieces.
of people. Joe and Kristen.
Mine too, nieces and nephews.
Go see some old friends and go visit Peterborough, New Hampshire. And,
all the things. I mean, we have a pretty good trip planned. We've got stops in possibly New Mexico, definitely Tucson, Texas, Georgia, possibly Florida, North Carolina, Maryland, Delaware, Philadelphia, Connecticut, New Hampshire, and then Maine. Iowa. Oh, Maine. And then, Maine. Acadia. And Iowa. And then Iowa for sure. And then back to Red Lodge, and then to Idaho for the
2-year-old
birthday and the second baby birth. So that's all very exciting. And that's pretty much as far as we have planned, really. We were just talking.
Get to Idaho by July 1st. Other than that, we are going to be on the road bringing you guys wherever we go.
Yeah, we're so excited about it. And we've got several weeks. I'm sure next week we'll go into some more details about our excitement on it all.
One of the things she finally said we could buy is a road atlas.
I didn't.
So
what
she
do you
always
mean?
used to say we didn't need a road atlas.
When we
have your phone.
That day that if you guys have been watching us for a while, there was it was last year sometime. We were leaving Idaho, I think, and we had left a campsite. We were on our way to Red Lodge. The first time we went to Red Lodge, and you had to pull over on the side of the road, go to the bathroom, and take the toilet bucket out of the back, and literally take a poo on the side of the road. And it was overlooking a lake, Nevada Lake in Montana. He was overlooking, and I'll never forget it. And right afterwards, we thought it was so funny, blah blah blah, whatever. We just kept driving straight. We had no cell phone service. GPS couldn't find us. We missed our turn. It didn't know that we had come up to it, and we're driving, and James realized we were seeing road signs for roads that we weren't supposed to go past. And it wasn't too far after our turn. You noticed it pretty quickly. We were heading towards a town we weren't supposed to head towards, or something to that effect, and he realized that we missed our turn. And so I think having a road atlas in those moments, because we drive in really remote areas, I think having a road atlas is a must. We don't have one. We need to get one, because not only that...
one of the things I want to do, and hopefully we can do it and put it on our table, is get a map of the U.S. It doesn't have to have all the roads, but, you know.
Oh, just for fun.
And tack where we're going.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And have it on so we can look at an aerial and just star when we get there. I don't know. I think it's going to be cool to track it.
That would be fun.
And if we go off the path, mark it so we know for the years to come that what we did. That's what I want to do.
For sure. Well, and one of the things that we keep talking about, James doesn't really like to drive on flat roads, more than 65, and going uphill, forget about it. We're going way slower than that. So one of the things we keep talking about is a lot of the time the interstate system is faster if you're driving the interstate speed, 75 miles per hour. We're never driving that fast. So when you look at the map, a lot of the time you'll see roads that are far more direct than the interstate, but you get there slower just because the speed limit's lower. Well, we're going that speed limit anyway, so we might as well be saving ourselves those miles. And you got to look into them, because some of them are going to be like going through winding mountain passes, of course, and we would like to avoid that. I would rather take a longer route, than go through a winding mountain pass pulling a 26-foot trailer. But it'll be fun to... A lot of the time on those back roads, too, there's a lot more public land, a lot more camping opportunities, a lot more elbow
just places,
room.
To pull over.
So
the interstate, you got truck stops.
Mm-hmm. So I think that'll be more our speed. So I'm looking forward to making our way to the East Coast and up the East Coast as little interstates as possible. I think that will be a lot of fun, actually. And, it could be stressful. Of course, you get into the areas, again, no cell phone service, all of that. But that's part of the fun of it. I would rather that kind of headache, having no cell phone service and trying to figure out how we need to get to somewhere, than dealing with 16 lanes of traffic, merging on and off of freeways, people late for work. All of that hecticness in a major city is just overwhelming, and I would rather not have to deal with it.
We're going to go around those in all major cities. We're not going to go. We're going around that stuff. Mm-hmm. We're taking the loop.
Yeah.
But we're going to plan it out, and we're going to map it out and see how we're going and keep track and have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so stay tuned. And I don't know what these we don't really have anything
the
planned
next video,
for
maybe we're going to do a hike and bring you guys along.
We were going to go for a hike today. We actually went down to the river today and walked. There's an ATV trail along the river at one of the parks we like to go to with the dogs. And we walked along.
And the river's low here, so that's why you can walk.
Yeah. So we were walking along the beach, and we were going to bring you guys with us. And then when we decided to start recording, somebody else had shown up with their own dog. And him and Norman weren't fans of one another from a distance. You know, we had all had plenty of time to
we
secure
leashed
our
up. He
dogs and all
leashed
that.
up. It was good.
But it kind of ruined our plans. This was going to be a walk, and we were going to enjoy our campfire without you guys. But we decided to bring you along for the campfire. So that was our campfire talk for this episode, and you guys stay tuned next week.
The campfire is good.
Whatever it is that we decide to do, or whatever new epiphanies we have along this journey. We deeply appreciate you guys. Yeah. Thanks, you guys, for watching. Thanks for listening. And, let us know what you think, or what you'd like, or cheer us along. Love you.